We can try it. We can bend all the rules today.
Okay.
I like the spirit of what this is.
Citizens of the Reject Nation, 'tis I, your co-host, Michael Tessler.
Oh,
I am
you're
joined
the host today.
Host?
Master Teskel. Master Michael Teskel.
with my co-host,
Yes.
John Humphrey. You can find
hi.
him on the Instagram at @JohnHumphrey.
Yes.
And that is
Post
with
all the
a
time.
silent Q on the top. Don't forget to use the Force to leave a like and ring that notification bell. Ding, 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 ding. And if you so choose, please leave a comment down below. There's a high chance that I'll comment if it's not hate speech.
HC.
Boom.
You know.
So, how'd I do? Did I intro?
out there, trying to...
This is episode 3.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Gundams.
Yes, I would love a Gundam crossover. Are you kidding me? As a kid, the inner child in me would love a Gundam crossover.
I had Gundam crossovers.
What?
Yeah. We have to keep this short.
Yes, Prepper, thank you for cutting these down, by the way. We really appreciate your hard work and energy that you put into this, the force that you use, and Patreon. If you want to come over, check out the full-length reaction where you can sync up with your own copies, see everything that doesn't make these highlight reels. You can do that over there.
Yeah.
Let's jump in.
Watch along.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, I believe, the High Republic era. Does that mean anything to you?
This is not the High Republic era.
I think maybe.
This is the New Republic era. I think this is set relatively parallel to Mandalorian.
All right. Okay, then you would know. All right. I'm mixing my republics up.
Yeah. No, the High Republic is when ganja is briefly legalized in the Outer Rim.
That is the Star Wars saga we need.
Gunji doing some ganja on Kashyyyk.
Oh, you must be exhausted.
Oh.
When I was a girl and my friends and I would run away, the safety droids always found us eventually.
Dude, this is going to be your parents' episode.
I love parent episodes.
Yeah.
Greetings. I have been sent by the supervisor.
Skibbity greetings.
Your children are on a starship that has illegally exited the barrier.
Yes.
Because the starship is outside the barrier, the supervisor is unable to risk any contact.
Oh, good.
These are our kids. I'm submitting a petition for an immediate audience with the supervisor.
I don't think the supervisor's a human being or a organic being.
It's Kevin from She-Hulk. Oh, that is the guy from TV on the radio.
Yeah?
Yes. Tunde Adebimpe does sing for
Didn't
TV on the
realize
radio.
until he took his glasses off.
Shit is crazy.
That's Skeleton Crew. Learn how to read, John.
Skeleton crazy.
Oh, God, I love space.
It is the final frontier. This is kind of space lantasy.
Ow.
Like,
You're wearing a mask. They won't see you.
Ooh.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, he seems to be force using
Let's get to your ship.
We never agreed
It
to
was
give
still
you-
metal, though.
What? He's helping us.
heavy metal.
You could escape at any time. What did you need our help for?
Without a ship, what use was freeing myself from the cell?
All right, that's a fair argument.
I waited. The Force provided.
There's no treasure on our planet if that's what you're after.
The force provided.
That's not what I'm after.
Yeah, because he's a Jedi. We have no idea who he is.
My name is Jod Nunwood, and you are.
God, no,
Newman.
Now we know each other.
Now we know each other. Jude Law would.
Space Jude.
Quick.
You could sense that someone was going to come around the corner.
You know much of the Force.
It's good. Empower.
33 said to trust no one.
Is he just quirky or something up?
Jedis are the defenders of justice and keepers of peace in the galaxy. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. We're the Scooby Gang.
There are many living beings this way, and that way is empty.
Great, let's go the empty way.
Easier to hide in a crowd than an empty corridor if one wants to.
Wait, hold!
Oh.
A little probe droid.
So I guess KB's got the Force too.
The Force flows through us all.
Interesting.
He knows the right things to say.
I don't know, man. Maybe he's just going to be a little Jack Sparrow-y, but more, zen.
I'm not opposed to him actually really being a Jedi.
It's okay. I know you hate Jude Law.
I like the idea of a Jedi turned pirate who finds his way back to the Force, and there's a redemption arc. But I also like the idea of a pirate that pretends to be a Jedi.
And now we are at a crossroads. Which multiversal timeline will we take?
Yeah, for real. Man, Jawas really get around.
They do. Oh. I do like the way they're doing the scale on this one.
Yeah.
That was too easy.
You're welcome.
That's why I feel like he might be in on it.
Yeah.
They want to find if Atton's real. This is a good way to...
Our ship, he's trying to tell you it's a wreck, but he's too embarrassed.
Technically, it shouldn't fly.
It smells funny.
Can't smell as bad as...
Uh-oh.
That's your ship?
Not that.
Ready to kiss this rock goodbye?
Depends where we're going.
I have an old friend in mind. She's an expert on star maps, lost planets, that kind of thing. She'll find your home.
Get your star maps.
Our droid. He knows how to operate and repair the ship.
We'll be fine without him.
He saved us.
Yeah, we need him.
Yeah.
We're not going back for a droid.
I thought the Jedi never left a man behind.
That's not
Uh-oh. Let's have this debate.
a Jedi thing, the Jedi say.
If you don't go, I will.
And me. And me. We'll go together.
You try that. You'll be recaptured and back in the brig before you can say parsec.
But you can do it, right?
Parsec.
Yeah.
To the break.
You're a Jedi, right?
This is some fun cross banter. Of course.
I'll do it.
Any person with nieces, nephews, or children knows
You stay here,
this is exactly how it goes.
where it's safe.
Because he's just going to be able to walk right back in.
Thank you. S-37 what?
SM-33. He was disabled right before we were captured.
Oh, and don't forget about the rat that lives in his eye hole.
Wait, don't touch anything!
Oh.
You don't want to blast off accidentally before I get back.
Blast off to nowhere.
We should blast off before he gets back.
Yep.
Silver was escaped from the brig!
I guess he did just...
So he's not in on
Walk
it.
back
Okay.
Silver was escaped from the brig! Search every stall, search every booth!
Oh, search every booth.
But is he really a Jedi?
All right, let's start a list of yays and nays.
Yeah, no, but actually.
Hello, I am CZD290.
Poor guy.
Hello. Oh,
Hello
poor
there.
ZZD29.
The prince is in danger. Quickly, I must save the prince. We must go this way.
Hey.
What do you want?
SN-33.
Might be, depends who's asking.
I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah. Can't leave Nick Frost behind. It's my guy right there. There's some good comments too, pointing out all the like Peter Pan stuff.
Oh, there's
The kids are, yeah.
the amount of brilliant references. Like, it's almost impossible
To the Disney canon.
Here, come sit with your old crewman. Have some tea and tell me your troubles.
Oh, I have to shove off. I'm borrowing this droid.
Who is this now?
Brutus let him out.
I just might have finally found the big score I always talked of.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have nothing to do with those children what showed up, eh? Let's call in the guards. Have a little chat.
Oh. It's not looking good, man.
Is so.
Is not.
Is so.
Is not.
He floated stuff.
There's a million ways to make it look like something is floating.
Name one.
Repulsor lift, tractor beam, magnets, mirrors.
Me at the end of last episode.
Yay! Again, you should be in these writers' rooms.
He just wants to steal our treasure.
There is no treasure.
He doesn't know that.
I'm glad they're having this debate now.
We're just kids, Fern. We can't do this on our own.
Guys, look!
Yeah. It's a classic 80s. Yeah, I do like that they're having this conversation now. I feel like a lot of times these shows will kind of draw out inevitable conclusions. So
It's also like, I think both of them are making fair points.
yeah.
For little kid logic.
Oh, yeah.
What was that supposed to do?
I think we're stuck on the fuel line. Okay, I'll try and snap it.
Oh, no.
What could go wrong?
How often does that happen? Oh, God.
It's a very well-made fuel line.
It is. Whoever made those deserves a raise. Oh, golly. I like this. Oh, boy.
God, I could feel that.
Oh, boy. Yeah, the scraping. Ooh.
Scratching nails
In your
on a
teeth.
chalkboard.
On the cannon! On the double!
Yeah, let's go, Star Wolf.
He's going to shoot the line.
He's going to shoot the line. Ah! Every time, I don't... Yeah, this is working on me.
Take it, win!
Let's go, Wim. Wim Hof.
But isn't it dangerous to go to hyperspace if we're tied to something?
Uh-oh. Yeah, probably. It's going to rip whatever you're tied to apart. Or not.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Something like that.
Oh my God.
God, dude. Wow.
Do you want me to go after him, Captain?
Put a bounty on his head.
All right. Well, they're not on the same side, so.
I'll get you next time, Fox.
And your little dog, too.
And do a barrel roll.
Intruder on board.
That's Shaun. He's good. He's on our side. He saved us.
So what's his name?
He's a Jedi.
Jedi?
Judai.
He's taking us to his friend, who can help us find Ad Atten.
Can't say I remember no At-Atin.
Yeah, we know.
You said that already. La la la. Once already.
So, At-Atten.
I love the blue-centric foods in this world.
There's more in the pot.
Run! Okay, there's enough for everyone.
Aww. And it does have that Indiana Jonesy quality as well. You know, it's like there might just be a skeleton pinned to the wall.
I appreciate the taking clothes off of potentially a 1,000-year-old skeleton.
Yeah, why not? You're not using them? Oh, you better hang that back up.
Looking for something? Jedi?
You might want to clean up around here.
Who are you to give orders?
Never mind who I am.
Ooh.
Nice. Little peg legs, too.
Are these kids really from At-Atten?
I'll tell you what I know, and mark my words, for I won't be repeating them again.
Repeating.
They're definitely from somewhere.
Oh, by the way.
Oh, SM-33 is playing a game, too.
Yeah.
I love that. I love a droid with
Motivations.
with feelings.
With machinations.
Maybe the treasure has to do with the great work. What does your mom do? She works in admin. Mine are analysts. Yeah, mine too. So what?
What do they analyze?
So what do they analyze?
My thoughts exactly, Neil.
Something boring. About money.
It's too. They're learning about money.
And that everyone in their family works for the government?
Yeah.
Time to get some sleep.
But I'm not even tired.
Dude, that's the most relatable content I've ever seen in Star Wars.
It's a very fun flip from the delivery to the cut.
You do sleep, don't you?
It's unlikely you're telling the truth about being a Jedi.
You don't trust me.
I calculated the odds.
Never tell me the odds.
Not everything in the galaxy can be calculated. Sometimes you have to trust your gut.
And go to bed.
We reach my friend's moon in a few hours. I suggest you get some rest.
I hope his friend is Pelimoto.
Oh my god. For the people in the comment section, the droid that was like, we have to save the prince, we have to save the prince. Help me out. Are they talking about the Mon Cal prince? I know it's referencing something, but it's driving me nuts.
This moon is cold.
You'll warm up when you start walking.
I like their starfish tentacle.
That's what they call me.
That's your Jedi name.
This friend of mine, we go way back, but I don't trust her. Not 100%.
90%.
She might stab us in the back.
Stab us?
Not literally.
Doesn't have metaphors on Ad-Aden?
Never mind. You'll understand when you're old. Come on.
If you live that long.
I'm enjoying there was like a fun tension. So when he is like kind of genuinely, endearingly, what is that really? Maybe they are just bonding.
It's him, all right.
I agree.
Flock of children.
Flock of children.
Must be kidnapped. You've got to help them.
Oh.
I'll dispatch a patrol to make the arrest.
Good. I'll stall him as long as I can. But hurry.
Getting all the angles.
Looks different.
Now who could that be knocking on my door?
Hello, Kim.
That voice is so familiar.
Oh, the shot.
Crimson Jack. You're looking well.
Crimson Jack.
I know I left things in such a mess between us, but I couldn't show my face again until I brought you something really special.
Yeah, for your birthday.
How could I refuse such a dear old trusted friend?
I just love these protruding like eyeball probes.
Place looks great. I see you've been cleaning
Stuff
up.
to knock over.
Trinkets and tokens.
Is that a big like mixer? What is that? Oh.
There's 1,000 worlds.
There's a world
Sheltered
between
children.
worlds.
There's more than that, my girl.
Aww.
Whoa. Mr. Owl. Sonic's mom.
What in the depths are you doing with him?
He rescued us. He said you could show us the way home.
I got maps of every star in the galaxy and hyperspace routes between them all.
Cool.
Where are you from, children?
Let me explain.
You've heard of it, right?
Ad-Atten?
How do you spell that?
It's pronounced A-T-A-T.
Is that a map?
No, my dear boy. Your home has been purposely hidden from the rest of the galaxy. There is no map to at.
Fun.
We need a map.
No, we don't. You're the map.
Precisely. We'll search my archive by astronomical feature.
And we'll roll each of you up in a scroll.
Be a fun episode.
Yeah.
Nope, not that one.
You know, it's one of those library montages.
What makes your planet special in all the galaxy?
Nothing.
Any nearby planets?
In school we learned about Coruscant and Alderaan.
Alderaan? Missed the war, did you?
What war?
Fascinating.
Interesting.
That's so cool.
Part of the great work is that we're supposed to stay inside the barrier.
Great work.
Damn.
Barrier.
Great work.
What does this barrier look like?
Cloudy, like a swirl.
It's the Aurora Borealis.
Nebula. That's why the planets remain hidden.
Oh, interesting.
Does this narrow it down?
Only 10,000 worlds. We'll carry on until we've picked your little brains clean.
Oh, golly.
This is never gonna work. We've already eliminated 99.99%.
Damn.
What's that symbol? Here, on your rucksack.
It's because I'm head of the class.
Never seen Palmerish numerals used in Proto-Republic artifacts.
Proto-Republic artifacts.
Ooh.
This may actually work.
You have it? Is that it?
Yes, well, no.
This is really cool.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm locked in right now.
You know, it could take who knows how long.
I didn't know better.
We're
I'd say
stalling.
you were stalling.
Oh.
You don't trust me?
You looked to the left when you said that. It was fun, friend.
Come in. This is Sector Patrol inbound to your position.
You wouldn't shoot me. Not in front of the children.
Someone please think of the children.
Crimson Jack.
Children, listen. Crimson Jack is a scoundrel. All he wants is your treasure. I called these X-Wings to help you.
Are we going to get that one guy? That one guy who's always on patrol?
He's very busy.
He's a multi-hyphenate, man.
There's a labor dispute, whole union thing.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Got it.
Being chased by pirates and the New Republic.
Got those knits.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine. But what are you going to do? Go with Jack?
Oh.
Got us this far, but I don't
Okay.
trust him.
What did he tell you? Trust your gut? Get the truth. And if you ever need help, you can call me anytime.
Anytime. Call me all night.
Thanks,
You're a
Hootie.
Ravenclaw.
Who are you? And why did Kim call you Crimson Jack?
Well, I'll tell you the whole long story on the ship.
I brought back a ton of Rooibos.
We are not going anywhere until you tell us who you are.
We don't got time for this.
I'll tell you who I am. On the ship.
Tell us now. Truth. The truth. The truth.
The truth is, I'm just like you, okay?
Ooh.
I'm alone.
You are a Jedi, right?
I never actually said that.
What?
Let's make a deal. I'll get you home.
Let's make a deal.
Maybe get a little reward. We'll make a partnership.
Not partners. You work for us.
You're our janitor. Ooh. Just a blowtorch.
Use the blowtorch, Luke.
Deal.
We can't leave now. The life support systems are disassembled.
Reassemble it! We're taking off!
Really am happy with the cinematography on all this. It's like really refreshing. You know, not that I don't love a good Star Wars cut, but I appreciate like even the transitions.
Crimson Jack, land this ship immediately.
Hey.
I need you to take the controls and evade their fire.
Neil?
Damn.
I can't fly a ship.
Like this. Just wiggle the controls a little. Evade.
Wiggle the controls a little. Evade.
Why is Neil even flying the ship? Why can't I fly the ship?
Why can't I fly the ship?
Have this, turn this, fire here. Just keep them back. Let's go.
Fun. Just finding everybody their place. I've been waiting for
He's
this.
literally all of us.
Wowie. Oh, yeah, I feel you.
Literally the spinning in circles.
That's me whenever I get into one of those big arcade pods. I'm like, whoa.
That's exactly
Controls
it.
are very fine.
Welcome to Dave and Buster's.
I got him. That was my shot.
Aww. Oh, Neil.
Let me know when we're ready to jump.
Okay.
I like that she is genuinely Geordie LaForge.
Yep.
Visors and all.
Almost there.
Like, this is hyper pastiche, but like, in a way I am finding endearing. There's a way to make that very tacky. I'm sure somebody does find it tacky. I am liking that so far.
Yeah, I really have not feeling the tack.
You let them get away.
Too risky with the kids inside.
Uh-oh.
Any idea where they're headed?
I want one of them to be Paul Giamatti.
If I told you,
You'd never believe me.
believe me.
Yeah. Damn, man.
Well done.
That's good. When you don't want the episode to end.
Yeah, that's a weird.
good
I haven't
sign.
experienced that with Star Wars in a while.
Yeah. Nah. And it was nice to, after a week's worth of a wait, you get those first 2 episodes, and the second episode is certainly compact. It's very much sort of, when you look at it without the credits, it is like under 30 minutes. It's like 20 something odd minutes. Yeah. So to hop to, this piece after a week is like, oh, cool. I'm excited to have this anticipation cycle now,
It's you take for granted the anticipation cycle of just like the magic of waiting a week. And it's also, I appreciate that it's not trying to bite off more than it can chew in an episode.
Exactly.
Like that knew when to end.
I feel like oftentimes with these shows, there's a spectrum of push-pull where I feel like, either they're trying to get through way too much too fast. Force push, force pull.
Yeah.
Where they're either trying to breeze through something way too fast, or they're trying to like stretch things out over way too many episodes. And this feels kind of just right at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely it does have this sort of a perfect balance of, it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it takes itself just seriously enough for me to buy into it. And I've just been having fun.
Yeah.
And I appreciate they don't beat around the bush in answering some questions, but they also leave enough mystery to where every answer creates new, even more exciting questions than the one before.
Yeah.
I'm so excited at what they've laid down on the table and how they've done it. Because I'm not going to lie, I don't know why I had it in my mind that this show was going to be. Have you ever seen the spin-off movies, the Ewok ones?
No.
Where the kids end up crashed on Endor?
No.
So they're like one of those. You can look for them on Disney Plus. They exist.
I will.
You should react to them.
I'm adding them to my queue.
And I was like, oh, it's going to be a bunch of kids crash land at a planet with Jude Law somehow. And everything I thought this might be, it is not.
Sure.
And it is subverting all the expectations in a really refreshing and wonderful way. And I like that while it's not at least yet anyway, it hasn't had any major implications on the galaxy at large or the current narrative that they're building out. I love that it has this for the lore whores, there is a
additional voices. Sam Witwer again.
Oh, my man. Darth Maul. Yeah?
Yeah.
So Starkiller?
Hey. Chief McLeod. Anyway.
We can keep going. No, but there's this really interesting I imagine I'm using the Force to imagine what the comments are going to say. And I think everyone's going to be really intrigued by this idea of a planet of the old Republic era that has been, in essence, kept hidden from the galaxy at large. And it's cool because, for those that played, Jedi Survivor, for instance, Tanalor. I'm going to stick with that. And I'm so sorry if I got it wrong. Sorry, I'm so tired.
You definitely got it right. I was fact-checking you in my head where I know that information.
I think it's Tanalor because I'm getting Mount Tannis, Tantis confused.
Drink your Tannis root.
Different. And then there's also Zeb's planet. So there's other hidden
People really
planets.
want that Zeb.
There's a lot of hidden planets in Star
Zeb
Wars.
gang.
But what I really like about this is that it's implying something even older, beyond the High Republic, even further back to the old Republic. And based on everything that we've heard, I wonder if this show, weirdly enough, without intention, is like connected to the Old Republic game series, because there were some planet killer type super weapons of a Death Star type variety that existed that would explain how some planets that used to exist no longer exist. Terrace being one of them. You're familiar, of course. Right?
Sure.
Yes, yes. So, you know, I'm like, I think it's really cool that they have this like really fun, borderline silly show that does not have direct implications at the moment on the Skywalker saga, which has been such a relief to like not need to think about that for a minute. And coincidentally, they may have just given us the most that we've ever been given about a chapter of Star Wars history that I think a lot of Star Wars fans have been really hungry for.
Ooh.
So I don't know how they've done it, but great Scott, Marty, they've done it again.
Hey, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And for somebody as you know, well read and invested as you are, I know that there's like things I don't even understand to perceive. But
Will said
in the rich well of the
Will
Star
said,
Wars,
youngling. Will said.
But yeah, I don't know. Like this, it does have. We were talking actually earlier about the idea that, you know, if something is hewn the right way, it should make you, if there's some kind of other text or material that it comes from or is related to, it should make you want to go check that stuff out. And like this is the type of thing where if I hear like, oh, this is related to this game or to this book or to this other story, it makes the goodwill that this is bringing me is making me interested in more of that stuff. The more that you expound, the more I'm like, well, what is that? And then and you real quick. I don't know if this is a tall order to ask. Just give me a quick rundown of all the eras, you know?
Oh, sure. So there's the pre-Republic era, like the creation of the Jedi, eventually.
The old shit.
Yeah, the like ancient.
Yeah.
Which they haven't really canonically explored a lot. And then there's the Old Republic, which is sort of the galaxy had ebbed and flowed. There was lots of civil wars. There was a Sith Empire. There was the Old Republic. There was the Mandalorian Wars with ancient Mandalore, which was, you know, all these like epic tribes. There was Darth Revan, who is, I think, one of my favorite characters of all time.
Okay.
And the Old Republic was like vast and interesting. And then as time went on, the Republic entered after its like big civil war with the Sith Empire. The Sith disappeared. There was 1,000 years of peace.
Hey.
And the High Republic era, which is like when the Acolyte takes place.
Yes. Okay.
The High Republic is sort of an interesting, like they wanted to capture the essence and the magic of like the Knights of the Round Table, and sort of this like the Jedi have assumed no longer just like their role as like these warrior monks, but now have become like an institution in of themselves, like instrumental in all aspects of politics.
So you've got Jedis. Yeah, okay.
And they're everywhere. There's hundreds of Jedi temples, if not thousands, scattered throughout the galaxies. They're outposts.
They're just involved in all
They're
areas
involved
of
in
life.
everything.
There might be a Jedi among any given order of other
exactly.
interests.
It wouldn't be unlikely for there to be like a pairing of Jedi on any planet at any given time.
Gotcha.
And then like full on Jedi temples. And you know, at the time, there's like, yes, there are enemies, yes, they're fighting, but like largely speaking, there's no major threat to the galaxy at large, other than like smaller quarrels and pirates and things that, you know, pop up in a bigger way. And the High Republic era ends. So Yoda's actually alive for this chapter of the High Republic. The High Republic comes to its grand conclusion as the Jedi become so jaded, and the institution of the Jedi Order begins to overshadow the values of the Jedi themselves. And all of that kind of culminates with the Jedi numbers slowly dwindling, and ultimately, like, the last like big amount of Jedi die at the Battle of Geonosis.
Yes.
And the Clone Wars is really the ultimate folly of the Jedi.
Gotcha.
So that's the old orders. After that, Empire.
Then we enter the
Empire. Then there's the War of the Rebellion. The Rebellion destroys the Empire. The New Republic is established. It's not nearly as strong
it's been
as
great.
the Old Republic.
It's been great.
And
New
the
Republic.
Jedi never really come back in a
Knights
major
of the
way.
New Republic, am I right, bro?
There's not many knights, and all of them
There
get
should be.
slaughtered by baby Kylo.
Oh.
And Luke gets sad, so he goes on a mountain island
He
and drinks
the
out of
milk.
the teat of a disgusting creature.
Guards the sacred Jedi text.
Yeah, guards the sacred Jedi text, which is just funny.
And every day he throws that
Yeah.
lightsaber. It's actually part of his exercise ritual. It's a Sisyphean task he sets for himself.
And I get that. And so then, basically, in the shadows, Palpatine somehow returns because he kept his essence alive, and then his essence was cloned.
Okay.
And then they tried to make a clone, but they couldn't get it right, so he needed to put his essence into Rey. So anyway, he creates a Force creature, Snoke, who then creates what's called the First Order, which in my head canon was Palpatine's First Order, Order 66. Order 1 was this backup plan just in case. He goes, trains Kylo Ren, creates the First Order. The First Order then turns Ilum, the place where all the Jedi crystals come from, like a really important old Jedi temple place, turns it into a Starkiller base, uses that to then blow up not just one planet, but an entire system, which happens to be Hosnian Prime, which had become basically in the New Republic, they wanted to try to make it more fair. So instead of having the capital just on Coruscant, they actually moved the capital around the galaxy. So Hosnian Prime, boom, blammo, gone in one foul stroke. The New Republic does no longer exist. Meanwhile, Leia, who was kind of on the outs with the New Republic because she's like, guys, I don't feel good about this whole First Order thing. We should really like be militant and arm, creates the Resistance. The Resistance then fights the First Order. The First Order ultimately wins. And then there's like this period of like, oh no, we're out of hope. And then there's the
Mickey was there.
Oh boy, we're out of hope. I tell you, I hope you don't want Luke to appear in the first movie.
Oh no.
And ultimately, with the power of friendship and the Force, and a couple kids with the ability to grab brooms, they are able to defeat the First Order. Snoke is killed, and then they destroy Palpatine with the power of all the Jedi. And then after that, we don't know. Rey starts a new Jedi Order, and that's where we're at. Did that do it?
I'm going to revisit this every time we sit down.
Yeah,
I'm going to revisit this as my guide. But that is good to know. Okay, so
what was the Old Republic? Okay,
this will all be on the quiz. No, because getting my timelines set in terms of this show, and I mean it is nice. I don't know.
So this takes place. Where does this take place, John?
This takes place after the original trilogy, but before-ish the sequel trilogy.
Nailed it.
Yeah, this is like where the Mandalorian is.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, yes, it is not the High Republic is earlier than this.
Yeah. And this apparently predates the High Republic, which is cool because we have never.
This does.
Really? Yes.
So
No. At Aden.
Gotcha.
And the story that they're talking about.
I think that's maybe where I got confused. Maybe I read something to that tune instead.
Well, I think there's like an interesting assumption that this very well could be in the trailers and some of the other pieces that we're seeing. Like until I saw an X-Wing, I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw like the New Republic symbol on it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. They're not going to village us.
Yeah. But then I saw those credits, and I was like, that's weird. Those doesn't look like. Anyway,
speaking of credits, there's an Alia Shawkat credit. Which did she play the owl? Did she play?
She's a hoot.
Hey. Well, you know, I mean, every time anybody shows up on a Star Wars, I assume it's a celebrity cameo, like every voice chatter on a radio or whatever it might be.
Did we react together when Jack Black and Lizzo were in Mandalorian?
Oh, I was on that one, baby. I'm on Mandalorian. I mean, I hope I get to continue with the movie.
That was a weird fever. Did I have COVID during that and had like crazy brain fog? Because there's no way that was real.
No, it was real. It's on this timeline. I don't know. Maybe you got pushed onto ours.
So for this episode,
yes,
because we didn't really react to it.
We didn't really discuss this episode yet, but we're getting this is good. This is a good Star Wars
discussion. Do you
discussion.
think people will listen to our Star Wars discussion?
I hope so. I don't know. If we
leave a comment down
could
below
start
if you
a
listen to this.
Star Wars podcast after this. I like this episode a lot, though. I thought this was really strong, and like the first two, I don't know, the first episode of anything has to set the chessboard up, and it has to establish a bunch of things, and it's all fresh to you. This I thought was really nice in the way that it like centered Jude Law as it was really his episode because he makes that entrance. You mostly get endeared to the kids and their situation to begin with, and now it's everybody. We're learning about him through everyone else's account of him and a bit of his personal charm and how he behaves. And I like his roguishness. There's a little bit of Dumbledore, but there's also some, suave, mischievous pirate energy. And, he's talking about the big score. You can imagine that this might take a trajectory of him. Yeah, initially setting out to, rob the planet and then eventually getting endeared to the kids and turning around and doing the right thing and really tapping into the Force and stuff. And he keeps saying that he's... Yeah. Is there a difference? I mean, not all Force users are Jedi, correct? Sure. So, like, is there a chance that he's maybe not a Jedi specifically?
I think there's... you could be Force sensitive without being a Jedi. I think based on his age, it makes sense that if he was involved with the Jedi, that he was very young when things hit the fan.
Yeah.
Which I think creates sort of an interesting, like, I'm like you, I'm alone. If you're a youngling or like a young Padawan who's been separated,
and had that whole vocation torn apart.
And it's interesting because like the premise of like Jedi Survivor, the video game, is very much about like a young Jedi who survives and is very alone. And it's a really sort of interesting place to be of, clearly he became a pirate and he figured out how to survive. And if he is like of a Jedi background, the idea of a planet that is not only like full of riches that can fulfill your pirate desires, but is also hidden from
everything
sounds pretty appealing to somebody whom has probably been on the run for their entire life.
Yeah. And now it's not going to be so hidden anymore because people will be looking it up.
Yeah. And so, I wonder there's some curious intention. And also the Jedi, to a large extent at this point in history, are like borderline myth to most people.
Sure.
Like most individuals have never seen a Jedi. So for him...
They just got their little light, bright, story pads.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But those light, bright story pads were on a planet that was only in contact with the Republic while there were Jedi everywhere.
Yeah.
So for him to go to this planet and to see like a reverence and a respect for the Jedi that he's probably never seen before
will probably be crazy.
I imagine that will create a unique burden on his shoulders. And like, he probably doesn't know Luke exists. Like, how would he? He's been a pirate.
Fun.
So, I think that's what's neat about this is that there is regardless of what he is and what his motivations are, there's so much character room to play with, and it's freaking Jude Law.
Yeah.
Who's just a miraculous actor in of himself.
He's so fun to watch. And he's a natural fit for this universe and this type of character, and I like that I buy each version. Like, I like how this episode throughout allows you to play along with everybody going like, something about this guy. And like the first few moments of them following him around, there is this, there was a nice little magic kind of, I don't know, question mark space where it was like, is he just a quirky guy?
Yeah.
Is this going to be just like a bouncier, more like, this is just kind of like fun and a little wild type of show?
Yeah.
Or, is he nefarious secretly? Or is there just some other, grander purpose to why he's here and why he's feeling so run down? I just like, being in that space, being able to kind of entertain all those ideas and then being swept along for the rest of the adventure. And I mean, like the kids here too, it's like you have just, I think, the right amount. Like, it's not really heavy on developing them so much, but I did like the first couple you're meeting them, and certainly they're arguing and they're bickering, but they're not used to each other yet. Whereas here they're more like sibling energy.
Yeah, there's a dynamic and I don't say respect, but there's a good chemistry being created between those characters.
Yeah,
and I really appreciate that. They're really coming into Star Wars with a adorable elementary understanding of Star Wars. They're like, Coruscant and Alderaan and the Jedi exist, and there's the Republic. And like, okay, if you don't know anything about Star Wars, you're like, oh, Jedi. And I think it's fun to experience the galaxy from the perspective of people that haven't lived in the galaxy.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because, like, I don't know, I guess I don't know, everybody brings in their own want and expectation for, like, how important is this to the main overarching plot of the universe versus how well is this just capturing the essence of what it means to be a Star Wars and maybe expanding that or whatever else. And I feel like, to me, to if you're like me, who's seen a good amount of Star Wars media, but probably should rewatch some of it, probably should check out some other pockets of it. This is the kind of thing where it's like, this is just enough of both. It's like, it makes me, again, curious about the outside universe, but I like that this is contained enough, and I'm curious enough about just the stuff in here. And it's, I feel like, I guess you could dismiss it as like, it's just like a side quest or like a one-off. But I think that's also a strength, and I feel like that enables them throughout this to put in some really fun, like, they're, in a way, again, that was noticeable but did not off-put me or feel tacky to me. They did kind of do, this was like being at Disneyland this episode, because it was like, run down this corridor and you're in Indiana Jones, and then run down this corridor and you're in some other kind of fun
and the framing of it was, while it was still like true to Star Wars, it was also different and interesting enough to where, like, it wasn't so predictable. The formula wasn't so refined, and I appreciate that there are nerdy threads that you can pull at, but to your point, the show thus far could exist on its own. You could go ahead, never see anything else Star Wars, and really enjoy this. And, you know, I think maybe it was at WonderCon we had this conversation.
WonderCon.
Where, you know, I was talking about my great frustration with the MCU and what's gone on. And it's because if you go back and watch any of the early MCU films, they were just focused on making a great standalone film, mostly because there was no assurance that there was going to be anything beyond that or any actual connective tissue. And I think Star Wars, in a desire to expand the galaxy and in a desire to tell a larger narrative, often sacrifices the individual story and the individual show or film that allows it to be good on its own without the context of all the other pieces. And this is really, for me, the first time, at least since the first season of The Mandalorian, and I'd say Andor, even though it's sort of this beautiful past tense piece, that there is it can just be enjoyed without needing all of the, I'll say baggage, because I love the baggage, but without all the weight of the galaxy on your shoulders.
Sometimes within a certain, whatever the umbrella is that you're under, sometimes you want the baggage, and sometimes you want a lighter iteration or something that doesn't come with all. Like, sometimes you still want to be in Star Wars land, but you want to be in the light side versus the heavier, like, I'm going to dig into this kind of side.
And I think Mandalorian started with that, where like, hey, here's a guy who's a bounty hunter, cool, understood, and he finds an adorable child who is being also hunted, and he challenges everything that he knows in the process about himself. And it was a really, while it had much bigger implications, as we've since discovered, it was self-contained in a way that, for a lot of my non-Star Wars fan friends, that was their way in. And I think that's what I want to keep, like, reiterating. It doesn't have to be what we always want it to be, but what it does need to be is an inviting way in. So that this has a future. And I'm like so excited to watch this with my niece and nephew. Like I'm so excited. And this is going to be a great digestible thing for them, and still a miraculous and wonderful thing for me to enjoy.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it makes me excited for what else is to come in Star Wars. I feel like both Marvel and Star Wars are kind of victim in their own ways to the modularity of the bigger plan of the big the giant story tree of where they want all this stuff to go. And yeah, I feel like containment really helps with that. I'm really excited to see the next episode, due to who the directors are. But
who's the director of the next episode?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
It's the Daniels. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, this will be a real interesting moment because I feel like within a show like this, you have a greater latitude within the plan of the show itself to fool around or to at least, invite back some of the fun and playful spirit that allows you to innovate in certain areas that people might like just as much as, I feel like oftentimes filling in the map, like with The Mandalorian, and soon we will wrap this discussion up, but with The Mandalorian, it's it starts out in a way where you're like, yeah, this is in the greater universe, but it's telling its own story and it's capturing a different genre and committing to that, much like Marvel used to do in the earlier phases, commit harder to a genre mashup and to being also that, and almost primarily in some cases that with a lot of its own, unique flavor or whatever. But I feel like oftentimes when you try to connect the map, it makes it feel smaller rather than feeling bigger. And I feel like The Mandalorian is a great example of how that can go kind of awry. And I wonder what turning that into a movie will do. But I feel like sometimes you can, if the pieces are well crafted enough, create just other parts of the map that are going in their own direction. And if you're doing a good enough job storytelling, you can make that super compelling on its own in a way that is, complementing the greater universe, but that doesn't need to be subject to every circumstance therein.
Well, and it takes all these established characters that you've been able to spend intimate time with, and there is a payoff to the dynamics and the relationships. And it really all comes down to character and writing and making those interesting pairings. Yeah. And I think this is the first time I've watched something where, and I'm sure it's probably not true, but this is what it feels like to me. I feel like the weight of trying to make something Star Wars was not on the minds of the creative team here. I just feel like they went in, had a really fun idea, and then were able to incorporate their love of Star Wars into that without letting the theoretical, what is a Star War, drive the creative to the point where it achieved nothing. Which I'm not going to name names, but Episode 8,
oh no,
cool, beautiful, didn't achieve anything. No, didn't. We literally got from here.
You just
to there.
started the car again.
It was literally a slow moving tram.
Yeah,
I used to work as a cast member at Disney. I would drive the slow moving tram at the Great Movie Ride. That movie was slower than my slow moving tram. Anyway, so enough about our thoughts and opinions. You don't watch this for that. You watch this to read the comments down below. What did you think? Write your comments down below. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. And also, fandom, I'm proud of them.
Yeah.
I was really worried. I was like, Star Wars show post-Acolyte with children in it. Uh-oh.
I think this is good for the soul, the heart and soul of everybody. If I don't know, again, I'm sure somebody doesn't like it, and I'm sure there are valid reasons as to why. But
it's okay not to.
Yeah, totally. But I feel like this is at least kind of it's not trying to be more than it is, and it's aimed right at your kid soul, I guess, and should have called it out in the moment. Fantastic Beasts, they're totally in a Harry Potter library with a talking owl. And Jude Law is Dumbledore in those movies.
So many talking owls.
Okay.
Oh my God, Jude Law is Dumbledore.
He's bringing that Dumbledore in.
Wow, when you said Dumbledore, I was like, that's a weird call.
Well, I mean, obviously from the most memorable installments in the Harry Potter cinematic experiment, which that's a whole other conversation about how that franchise.
Join us next week while we ignore the episode and talk about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them.
This was good though, and good intro for Jude Law. Excited for all the piratey stuff. Love all the accoutrements and all the big escape on the ship. I thought was a fun
gorgeous
way to take a pirate movie story trope and transcribe it into Star Wars in a way that was very fun. Again, would have been cool to see with some more miniatures, but what they achieved here with these effects, I thought was really. I was still caught up in that. I thought it was really fun.
I have not had a moment where I've been taken taken out of the experience with the effects so far.
No,
I genuinely, I feel like ILM has, through the process of like the utilizing both practical and the volume at the same time, have reached this like chef's kiss. ILM, if you're listening, nice.
Give us a call.
No, but actually,
Get Michael on the team.
I'd love to come visit. You don't have to hire me, but I'd love to say hello.
Yeah, come. That'd be great.
I would.
And then you have to vlog it.
Yeah.
You have to, and we'll put you crying in the thumbnail.
No, I mean that's fine.
We'll put you crying in the thumbnail.
Yeah, honestly, lock me in a room with Dave Filoni for 12 minutes, and I'll just
the podcast.
I'll come out
begins.
the other end.
The podcast awakens.
Yeah,
you said episode 8 earlier. I always get the sequel
7.
numbers out of.
I know my dyslexicness.
Oh, you were thinking 7.
No, 8.
8 is the last. Okay.
Yeah. No, 9 is the last.
Is the last Jedi.
7.
Is 8.
Jesus Christ. Well, don't forget to use the Force to leave a like, and if you want to enjoy more videos like this, hit that notification bell. It goes ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding, ding.
Anything else, John?
We'll if as long as we can get some more emotional, I don't know, characterization on the kids as we synthesize this into the next. But this is 8 episodes too, so this will be good.
I think the kids are doing a phenomenal job.
No, they're doing great, and I love them here as the supporting characters, as having the conversations again that we all are having about Jude Law and the show not wasting time in getting to that. And
they're us,
and they are, and they're
our little
bouncing off each
protagonist
other.
fella
Was really fun.
when he stepped into the turret.
Yeah.
Was like the most relatable piece of content. Next to when she's like, I'm not tired, and then immediately cut to nap time.
And to your point, maybe he was like a young Padawan or something, because the way he just delegates to the kids, he's just like, okay, I think you're going to be good at this. So you take the wheel, and then you guys, you gotta go find the turrets, and then you're going to help me figure shit out.
He's also the CEO of a pirate troop, which is very similar to being Greg.
Yes. That's right. We are a merry band of misfits here. Well, if you enjoyed the episode, whatever you thought about the episode, leave it in the comments as a hologram of you saying it out loud to us and compelling us to bring help. And also, we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. I don't know. Next week's gonna be something interesting.
We love you.
We love you. Pieces.
I
know. Oh, Star Wars.